Hi guys, welcome back to this week's recap. This week's topic was just who or what is Satan anyway? And it was based off of a question that showed up in our Hot Topic box asking if Satan was a fallen angel, could it happen again? And so we took the whole night and just explored who and what Satan is, looking at his backstory, what he can do, what his limits are, and where he winds up ultimately. Now his backstory, you look, there's not a whole lot in Scripture that's very clear on what happened to Satan before the creation of man. In Ezekiel 22:12-18, there's an oracle written to the king of Tyre that is written in Jewish apocalyptic style that, while addressing the king of Tyre, or Tyre, however you want to pronounce it, it really talks about how he was the bright morning star and he fell from grace, he wanted to be bigger than God, and God cast him down into the pit. While this is directed toward the king of Tyre, there's enough evidence to support, and the language is written in being Jewish apocalyptic style, would support that actual also being directed towards Satan himself. There's this passage in Isaiah 14:3-20. We looked at 12-15. And it starts out again, how you have fallen from heaven, a morning star, son of the dawn. And it talks about how he was once high and then low. Again, this time to the king of Babylon, but also enough to point that it probably was also addressed towards Satan himself. This is kind of backed up in Luke 10. We looked at 17-20, and it really, about verse 18, Jesus flat out says, I saw Satan cast out of heaven like lightning. After the disciples come back and like, wow, even demons believed us about you, and they left in your name. Jesus is like, of course, I saw what happened to their leader. We also looked at Revelation, and you have to remember also Revelation being Jewish apocalyptic, incredibly confusing, all over the map, but chapter 12 has a lot for us to catch from it that very likely could be Satan's backstory. In any event, he was once an angel, he fell from grace, God cast him out of heaven. We looked in Job, and in Job chapter 1 and chapter 2, Satan is in God's assembly. He is in front of God speaking with God, and God tells him, check out Job. And Satan says, of course he worships you. He has everything in the world. So first he lets him take everything from him, but his health. And then, after Satan says, of course he's still got his health, God says, you can take his health. You just can't kill him. And so we learned that Satan and God have a relationship. They have talked. It's not just, we leave each other emails, but they have spoken. We also learned that God controls Satan. Satan can't do anything without God's permission. Satan was created by God. He fell. He does not have God's power. He only has the abilities of an angel. God limits him with Job. First he told me he couldn't touch Job. Then he told me he could touch him but can't take his life. Satan doesn't have the power to kill. Satan doesn't have the power to do anything unless God is allowing it. In the Old Testament, where we look at the idea of hell with Sheol, it's a physical death, but it's understood that God is in control of that. It's not Satan in control of hell, it's God. Satan is described as the prince of the air, the driving force beyond sin. And even though there is demonic possession in the Bible, and there's still some today, mostly outside of American borders, I don't think we need demonic possession to keep us distracted from God, because we do it fine on our own. It never describes Satan as being the one who possessed. Satan's more given the role of he prowls along like a lion waiting to devour us. He whispers in our ears. He influences us. He deceives us. He lies to us. He accuses us. Satan is actually a legal term for the person who brings an accusation against you in court. He's the one that's coming to God and saying, these people screwed up. They're not worthy. Ultimately, he's going to lose. And Revelation 20 makes that clear. He's going to be cast in the lake of fire and tortured for all of eternity, and everyone who follows him will go there too. There are some popular misconceptions about Satan. First of all, Lucifer is not ascribed to him in Scripture as his name. In those Ezekiel and Isaiah passages, there is reference to a bright morning star. Lucifer essentially is the Latin for morning star. It's not something that shows in Scripture. His first name is not Lucifer. Also remember, he is not God's equal. He is not yin to God's yang. He is not an equal and omnipotently evil character. He is someone created by God lower. When we talk about God being ultimate good and Satan being ultimate evil, ultimates are like this: God, Satan. doesn't control people, he influences you. You are responsible for your actions. You make the choice to follow him or not. You listen to his lies, you follow him, that's your choice. You listen to his lies and you don't follow him, again, your choice. You can't say the devil made me do it, because ultimately you're the one who listened to him and you're the one who let him lead you astray. He can't do anything that God doesn't let him do. He's not that powerful, and a lot of times we make him out to be more powerful than he really is. We give him too much credit. Remember all that. This question all sprung out of the mind of Caleb Zimmerman, who asked, could it happen again? If Satan fell from heaven, could it happen again? Caleb, I don't know. Probably not, but I don't know for certain. But even if it did, he would never be as powerful as God. So make sure to check in next week. We're going to tackle the question, is it wrong to be a surrogate mother? And you can check back here online for an update on that as well, a recap. Thanks for checking us out.